Morning bookers, it's Nigel from Excellent Books here again in my conservatory. It snowed last night, it's quite chilly in the conserve, hence the big fleece. I've finally got round to doing, and I've gone for the top 5 books of last year, 2025. I've got one honourable mention and I have got 2 rereads. So 5 and 4 are rereads. Now I've put them in because they've got to be good books because I've reread them. I don't normally count my rereads on my list of books, not that I keep a list, but I do keep a list because I'm an anorak. And if you know what I've read this year, you'll already know what the top one is. So, with no more further ado, get yourself a brew and we'll crack on. I'm going to have a drink here. Out my tit mug. Got all the tits of England. So, the first is an honourable mention, and it squeezed itself in, and I'm so pleased it did, because I have found it's Tombstone by Matt Braun, another author that I really like. I've already ordered some books off eBay. I think one's coming from Australia, 2 are coming from America, and that's it. It seems to be very expensive in England. So yeah, I'm just waiting for them to get here. They'll get here when they get here, basically. But this got squeezed in the last book of the year, and not because it's the freshest in my mind, as it made the list. I just really, really enjoyed it. I love westerns. I love cowboys. You know, excellent. Only problem is it's number 3 in a series. So let's get down to the list proper. This one is a reread. Number 5 and number 4 can be swapped. This is a reread from 2025. I've read it loads and loads of times now. I have 2 copies. Both I got in Fort William in Scotland. One was on a whim, and the other one was on my trip up. I made sure. I phoned them up, asked them if they got a copy. Yes, they had. Save it. And that is The Blue Fox by Sojourn. It's an Icelandic fantasy fiction. It's in 3 parts, 4 parts. It's about, I don't want to spoil this because you really should read it. It's only thin, it's maybe like 130 pages, if that, about the mythical blue fox, a reverend father in Iceland. I think it's set in between World War I and World War II. I think that's when it's set. And it's the story of this reverend on his hunt for a mythical blue fox. And there is another story, another chapter that gets tied into it at the end. So all three of them get tied up in the last chapter. Now, I normally take this when I'm camping. It fits in one of my bags flat with all my electronicals. It is an excellent book. That's why I have reread it. And that's number 5, but it could be number 4. So, number 4 on the list, or it could be number 5, who knows, are 2 books. One was recommended to me in the second-hand bookshop, and I have got 2 copies of this one. And the first one is Beowulf by Seamus Heaney. I do have a really old, I think it's like an 80s Penguin copy of it, but I really like Heaney's interpretation of it. He's a poet, he spoke Gaelic. He translated it from Old English to modern day English. It's very readable. I would imagine most of you know the story of Beowulf, the poem from, I think it's been researched now to death. I think it comes from about the original oral telling of it, the think's about 500 BC. Pretty damn old, I think that's right. But anyway, I recommend Heaney's version of Beowulf. But before you read Beowulf, I got them both at the second-hand bookshop. He recommended Grendel by John Gardner. Now, Grendel is the first monster that Beowulf kills. Grendel is terrorising one of the chiefs of the one of the kingdoms, eating people. He's a horrendous character. This, on the other hand, tells Grendel in a totally different light. He told me to read this one first, then obviously Beowulf again. And the difference in the two, how the same character is portrayed, both Beowulf himself in Grendel, the dragon is in here, his mother's in here, as in here there is a dragon, Beowulf himself and Grendel. And it is 2 totally different aspects. I highly recommend you read Grendel first, and read Heaney's version of Beowulf. I really enjoyed them. They're both rereads for me. 4th or 5th with Blue Fox. Not sure. But I enjoyed both of them more than I expected I would when I first read them. So I read them again this year. So, coming in at number 3 for this year is another series. Because if you read a single book in a series and you like it, chances are you're going to read the whole series, aren't you? And I think these next two could be done in one bigger volume, but they've been brought out as two. Now, they are Hero's Journey and Unforsaken Hero by Sterling E. Lanier. He was he got Dune published, author of his own right, and these are exceptionally good books set in a dystopian world far, 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 far into the future, where all animals have mutated. The humans that have survived have mutated as well. Some of them are able to use telepathy, and they're just two fantastic adventure books. And they are very good books on good and evil, our interaction with other animals, other people of different cultures, and it was a really, really good series. Both of them were recommended at Secondhand Bookshop by Secondhand Bookshop Man. He obviously is incredibly well read, and he's not bothered whether you buy the books that he recommends, but I generally do. So yeah, they're two very, very good books. He did die before he wrote the third one, but it was on the internet that his daughter found some of his papers giving a brief outline of a third book, and she is either writing it or she's wrote it. Now, when that comes out, I will definitely read it, because it's meant to draw the whole. There'll be 3 books. It'll bring them all together and tie the story to an end. So Sterling E. Lanier, Hero's Journey, Unforsaken Hero, really good, really enjoyable reads. Where are we up to? 3. Number 2 on the list is another surprise for me. As I say, I've enjoyed all the books I've read this year, so it's been hard picking these out of them. I don't tend to read books that I'm not going to enjoy, but so it has been hard to get a list out. But this one, Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. I went back through my old records, and I did read this when I was 18, but I never kept my books back then. I never kept a very good journal of what I thought of them. In it, it just says, Picture of Dorian Gray, read. Not very helpful now, but luckily I couldn't remember much of it. And it's about a beautiful young man who wants to stay young, and he will do anything for it. One of his friends is a very well-known portrait artist, and he paints his portrait, and it's his best painting. He always struggles after that to put the same work in, of Dorian Gray. And because of that, Dorian Gray never ages. The picture does. So he goes on some journeys, if you want to call them that, of enlightenment, and he wants to try everything, basically. He's got a very influential friend who he thinks is guiding him. But I took it in the book that he was being manipulated by this very affluent male friend. It is written in, I think when was it written? I don't know, it's all taped up. But it's written in old kind of English that modern day books aren't written in. It's Oscar Wilde. From all accounts, he was put in prison for being gay on the account of this book. So when I read it, I was thinking, there's going to be a lot of gay issues in this. There's going to be a lot of homosexual references and stuff like that. But there isn't. Probably if you dissected the book and you thought about it and you really went to town on it, yeah, they are. The connections, they're all male. And they're all, but I really enjoyed that. Picture of Dorian Gray. If you've never read it, it's only a thin book. I like these Penguin English Library editions. The paper's good. I can mark them up. Easy reading. They don't tend to fall to bits. So that's why I've gone for this issue. But yeah, very, very good book and a very good read. Number one, no surprise. Midway through the year, I felt, although I enjoyed everything I read, and I've read a different selection of books all the way through up till then, I just wanted something different. I just wanted a massive adventure I could get into. So I went up on my bookshelf. Bosh. I went straight to him. Our man, Edgar Rice Burroughs, saved the year. I'm missing Tarzan at the centre, at the Earth's core. But we've got At the Earth's Core, Pellucidar series number 1, Pellucidar number 2, Tanner of Pellucidar. What this fantastic ace back to the Stone Age. I do really like these ace books. Savage Pellucidar and The Lucky Last, Land of Terror. Now, I say you saved the year. they're just books that I really enjoyed getting to. I only read one a month, so I didn't swamp myself with them all. And it's got me this year, 2026, each month on top of me Gothic horrors, I'm going to carry on me Edgar collections, work my way through them. But if you've never read any Edgar Rice Burroughs, you don't have to jump straight into the 22 books of Tarzan, the 12 books of Mars, John Carter of Mars, I think there's 7 or 8 books of Pellucidar, the Venus books. There are standalone books. There are little 2-book series, the Moon Men, Moon Maid, Moon Men, The Mucker, Return of the Mucker, Oakdale Affair, standalone books as well. And he's got everything. He wrote westerns, adventure books, a crime book, a romance book. You know, you can't go wrong with him. So go pick him up. Go read some of his work. It is a little dated now, but they're just rip-roaring adventures, and they are really up my alley. So they're the top 5. One honourable mention of books this year. I could have changed them about within the year, picked some of my other ones, but I think they're the ones that I'm going to reread out of the year. So that has been me. I'm going to take the girls out in the snow. Well, I'll take Mo, not Winnie. She's in her fleece blankets. She's tucked up. She ain't going out. And I will see you all later on in the month. And have a good reading month. Enjoy yourself. Be safe. Be gorgeous. See you, folks.